everyone, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about the new pattern from Itch to Stitch, the Lemont Top. The Lemont Top is an easy to sew, easy to wear pull over top. It has a dome and sleeve. There's some gathers at the shoulder line. I really like that little detail. It's on trend without being too exaggerated. This pattern is available in sizes 00 to 40, and that's a bust 31 1/8 to 63 inches. And there's a regular bust option and a full bust option. I have a 6-inch difference between my upper bust and my full bust. I need the full bust option. Typically in Itch to Stitch patterns, I sew an 8DD. This time I went up a size. Personal preference. I just wanted a looser fit, so I went with the 10 full bust. When Kenneth put out the testing call for this top, I was intrigued. I liked the simplicity of it with just a little bit of detail. Perfect for Texas summers. This is quite an easy sew. There are only 5 pattern pieces. You have the front, you have the back, you have this sleeve, and the sleeve and the side front and the side back are all one piece. And then you have a bias binding for the neckline and for the bottom of the sleeve. There is a princess seam, which you can see right here. It's a little bit to the side, not quite over your apex. And then the gathering for the sleeve is concentrated right here at the shoulder line. Have a look at the blog post with all of the tester photos and you can see how great it looks on everyone. The top is designed for lightweight woven fabrics. So think about something like a rayon challis, a lightweight cotton like a voile, a silk, a lightweight linen. The fabric requirement for my size was 1.5 yards. The reason you need that much is because this pattern piece, can you see, that is just one piece. That's the front and the back side as well as the sleeve. Because this is such an easy top to sew, I sewed 3 during the test period because I really like to know how different fabrics behave in a pattern that I like. This was my fit version. This is actually a bed sheet that I found at a church rummage sale. It was the perfect way to test the fit of the pattern as well as the construction techniques. What I discovered from this test version is that I needed to lower the fullness of where the bust area was by about 1/2 inch and also do a forward shoulder adjustment. I'll show you how I did that. It was super easy if you find that that's something you need to do also. To lower the fullness for the bust, the first thing I did is I traced that little box on the pattern piece right about where the bust apex is. Then I cut it out and moved it down 1/2 inch, which is what I wanted, and put it back in place. I put pattern paper behind that opening and taped it in place. Then on the corresponding piece, the sleeve piece, I did the exact same thing. It was just very, very slight, but it lowered the fullness just enough that it fit me better. For the forward shoulder adjustment, I folded over 1/2 inch the front shoulder seam, and then I added 1/2 inch to the back shoulder seam. You're not going to need to make any adjustment to the sleeve pattern piece. You could just adjust the fullness of the gathers when you put that together. Let's go on to number 2. I love this one. This is my favorite. You might recognize this floral. I sewed another top out of it earlier. I decided this time it would be really fun to use both sides, especially because this portion ends up on the bias. It's the way it's cut out. This is the sleeve cap up there. She's going like this. So when you're laying this out, this is your grain line. So this ends up on bias. So this works out beautifully for stripes. I use the stripe for the bias binding at the neckline as well as on the sleeves. Excellent instructions that you get a really nice clean finish for that. I did change the order of construction very slightly. I added the neckband before I added this sleeve and stitch. Oh shoot, there's a dog. I'll be right back. My third version is linen. It's a very light gray linen. It might even come across as white on the camera. Going into Texas summer, heat and humidity where I live, East Texas, this linen is going to be perfect. I did do one little change on this one. I added an additional inch for gathers here and here. Super easy. Let me show you how I did that. Here is the sleeve and side, front and side back pattern piece. What I did is I cut it in half right here and spread the pattern piece apart equally 1 inch. See this quickly becoming my go-to top this spring and summer. As with all new Itch to Stitch pattern releases, this one is on sale for a limited amount of time. I do have a link to purchase the pattern in my description box below. What do you think? Is this something that you might sew? I also want to know which one of the 3 that I sewed is your favorite. Check out my other Itch to Stitch pattern review videos. I'll see you in the next video. Have a blessed day. Happy sewing. I have a little dog under the table here, so I'm trying not to step on her and disturb her sleep. There she goes again. I'll be right back.